I want this just to have it because it looks fucking cool.
Which one is it? Is that, like, in which section was it?
Sisters.
Oh, okay, yeah, Sisters of Battle. That's probably like St. Celestine or something like that.
All I saw was a pinup model. And I was like, yeah. Yeah, Sister Saint Celestia.
Yep. And she has some cool lore, because apparently, I'm not even sure, she's supposed to have died, but she keeps on either being resurrected or brought back, and they tend to think that she's like a greater demon. But the demons in this are weird, because they can still do good things, like they'll kill other demons for the Imperium. And I'm not sure if they even know what they're doing. They're just like brought back from the warp. It's odd.
Well, that sounds a lot kind of like a conspiracy. And that's what we're here to talk about today is conspiracy theories.
Take those tinfoil hats off.
Yeah, because you're going to need to...
You need all the information we're about to give you.
Yeah,
if you
we're
want
gonna
to survive in our modern age.
We're going to beam a lot of shit into your brains. And if you're not listening, you got your tinfoil hat on, you're going to get fucked.
We're probably going to say allegedly a lot. I'm probably going to start yelling at no one. I'm probably going to point at the people in the room a lot and yell at them because they don't accept the truth.
Once he starts talking about the real truth, he's
You can't stop me.
Yep.
I'll go first, because I'm going to just get the Bohemian Grove out of the
Do it.
system.
I want to
And I'm going to go kind of quick through, because there really doesn't seem to be terribly much. Because there seems to be 3 realms of thought on it. That it's either just a boys' club that's a mask for like sex trafficking, basically for men, because it's a men's club right now.
Yeah.
And that is largely kind of debunked from everything that I've seen, just because since it is a men's only thing, and they have a lot of plays and stuff like that men are only there so they dress and drag. And
Sounds lame. Well, what is it? What's the whole...
so the whole entire thing is that, and basically you have to pay $2,500 to get into it.
Whew.
No problem.
And that's the
I'll do it
startup
right now.
fee. But then you also have to do $2,500 every year to remain. And it's basically a lot of the, and I don't know if
That's cheaper than most expensive country clubs over here.
Yeah.
but they are super secret. There've been, I think, 3 or 4 people who have snuck in. Alec Jones, I think, and that's where he kind of caught his huge break, was when he
snuck
in
in
there
Oh,
and
the
took
good old
videos
days.
of
Alex Jones.
when they.
Yeah, but then they caught him because he was going, I'm an American!
He's just this red, sweaty guy in the corner screaming, "You can't stop me!"
I see you, you're all lizard people!
But it's supposed to be a place where people could, and I'm not even sure how it even all came about, besides that it was a place for highly influential people to meet and gather. And technically they have a motto.
Mottos aren't good. They're just chants. Like, give us all the kids.
We're here. We're queer. We don't want any more bears.
I mean, that's one of the LGBT agenda that I just can't get behind. That's get rid of all the bears in the world, like grizzlies, Kodiak, panda,
Harry.
black bears. It's like
What do they have against the hairy?
I'm sorry
bears.
if you get eaten in Yellowstone, that's your
They
fault.
don't. The gay community does not appreciate a rotund man.
That seems
Oh,
fat shamey.
It is.
I thought they were afraid of
Grizzlies?
Grizzlies, because I am too.
We are looking at the totally different tumblers.
That's why I have a harpoon gun on my deck, in case
On
of
your what?
bear. My deck.
Oh!
That just so happens to also be the name of my dick.
But
That's a conspiracy.
the allegedly. Let's see here. But the motto is "Weaving spiders come not here," and I believe it's from Shakespeare. And it's supposed to mean that basically you come there, but you don't do your business. Even though they have stated that And
They
that the
control
Bohemian Grove,
everything.
that the Bohemian Grove has said that the Manhattan Project was thought up while everybody was at their get together. So I think that the idea is
scary.
that you aren't actually. It's kind of more like wink, wink, nod, nod, shake of hands,
Yeah.
and
Wouldn't it be crazy if we started a forever war in the Middle East? Yeah,
Oh,
that'd be
so-
crazy. I'll tell Rumsfeld and Cheney about that. That'd be insane.
yeah, because I think the Bushes are in there. I don't know if
They're
Kerry
everywhere.
is.
They got their greasy little fingers in every shitty hole in the planet.
But let's see here. Some of the most notable members are George H.W. Bush, who is the older one.
Yep.
The one with who likes to feel up people and all that kind of stuff.
He's dead now, ain't he?
I think his wife
Barbara
is.
died.
Oh,
I think he's still
I thought
kicking.
he died
No,
like
Barbara Bush. What's the?
Yeah, Barbara.
Is she okay?
Ronald Reagan, Theodore Roosevelt.
Roosevelt's cool. He's a rootin' tootin' badass.
Let's see here. George S. Nixon. I mean, there's a lot of people on here, but there's, a lot of really old
Nixon?
people
Like
who we
the-
wouldn't.
No, that's Richard.
Okay, I was gonna say.
That's old Dickie.
So if
But Nixon was also there, and because that's where the idea of like sex slaves and being like a big gay fest for men is. That he said it was like the one huge faggy joint or something like that in some recording that they caught of him.
Oh wow.
And I'm assuming that's
Oh wow.
because some people say, well, it could be that they're putting on plays and men dress and drag to be in the plays, and so that's where he was getting that, because that word had a multiple connotation back then as being just unmanly instead of
and they didn't like gay
Homosexual.
people,
huh?
and it helps that gay people weren't as accepted.
well, yeah,
Yeah.
it was super unacceptable to be gay back then. It was considered a mental disorder.
Yep.
All the
So-
way up until like 98.
That's crazy. So if they're just this big gay boys club where they go and they pluke each other, why is it such a big deal? Why do they have to pay so much money just to watch
Well,
old
that's what-
white roly-poly
Well,
men
it's
fuck each
because
other?
it's because they're powerful
Yeah.
and and it's a way to keep their gay secret.
Yeah.
Couldn't they just like go over to the Bush plantation? I'm assuming they have, and just fuck each other there instead of
But this
No,
this
because-
place is like
because
the
that-
Fort Knox of, because there was a show.
of power sex.
Yeah, there was a show, and I can't remember what it was, but it was a guy who wrote about conspiracies and like just tons of different things, like what's in the Statue of Liberties, whatever.
Yeah.
All these different conspiracies. They're just odd and so.
David Icke.
Yeah.
Is it him?
Is he bald and have glasses? He had like a show on the History Channel.
Oh, okay. So
It was on Netflix.
That's
But
who my information
and so they
came
had the
from.
Bohemian Grove, and they tried to get in there because there's a river that goes right behind it, I believe, and they tried
Yeah.
to get in there, and the security was on them. They tried to, drive up the lane, and they
Nope.
couldn't. And so it's super. Fort Knox is trying to get. Since Alec Jones, I'm assuming that the
Oh, they
security is like super.
They beefed it up quite
And
a bit.
but
Well, they had to beef it up for beefy old Jonesy.
yeah,
but
well,
I-
he's on that super male vitality, so I'm sure it was hard to stop.
Yeah, I know. That super male vitality is a big fucking deal.
But I think you do have to look at it as more that it's probably like a New World Order esque, because there's all the movers and shakers, at least of the United States, and I'm assuming a lot of
Yeah, but they say the same thing about Skull and Crossbones, and that's pretty much the same deal.
yeah, it just is for Yale people. But if
Yeah.
you look at, I think most of the Skull and Bones people are in the Bohemian Grove group as well.
Exactly.
And I think they're kind of
And then they're probably all allegedly part of the Illuminati.
yep, and that's part of what it is that or what you would think is the
I'm really
undercurrent.
look. I have to air some grievances here. I'm really upset with the Illuminati because they got to take a really cool name because it's like Illumination, but then it's naughty.
Yeah.
So it's like naughty light.
We're going to control the world.
With our naughty light. Okay,
Natty light.
my grievances have been aired.
But if I believe anything about this, and I because since there are so many rich and powerful people, and that they have stated, Bohemian Grove has, that the Manhattan Project was kind of tossed around there, that
that
I can
gives
see that as
a lot
whether
of
the
credence.
Illuminati is an actual, membership group, or it just is this ethereal group of people who controls a lot of what this world does. And I kind of think that the Illuminati is more that than an actual, like, we have President George W. Bush is the leader of the Illuminati, and he has his henchmen who are the
Yeah.
underlings. And
I
think it's more-
full-heartedly anymore agree or believe that anything that's bought and sold when it comes as far as ideas and politics, it's right there in front of your face anymore. They're not even trying to hide it.
Well, they don't have to.
Yeah, it's just
But I still
we're gonna
think-
exert this.
But I still
over
think that
here.
like things at the Bohemian Grove, while there may be something that's in front of us, I feel like it's more like an iceberg. You see something, but there's still a whole
Yeah.
crap
Oh,
ton that's underneath
okay.
that we don't notice.
or that they're using all this as a convenient smokescreen to
Yeah.
like get conspiracy theorists on, and then they don't even notice the thing that is actually happening.
See, the one conspiracy theory I wish I would have looked into is like the getting too close to the Clintons and how people who
Yeah.
do that happen
Die.
to wind up dead, kind of like the Russian people.
Well,
Yeah,
the
against the Kremlin.
actual real Russian reporters who end up dead.
Yeah.
well, Vladimir Putin, he murders those people.
Yeah.
There was that guy who actually faked his death. His wife thought he was dead, and for 2 weeks he like lived on the underground, and then he finally came back and he was like, "I'm not dead," and his wife like punched him and then kissed him,
Yeah.
but it's because Vladimir Putin wanted to kill him. So,
And probably still does.
oh yeah, most definitely. When it comes to the Clintons, like
I'm not saying it's true. It's just an interesting
it's just
thing
interesting.
that I would like to look into.
Yeah,
just 'cause-
Yeah.
and for sure. But that's really an Alex C. Jonesy thingy.
'cause I'm looking into.
I mean, like I know they're all lizard people.
I'm looking
Oh,
into getting
that's-
whacked.
I mean, allegedly lizard people, but I actually think they're crab people.
Mole men
Crap.
and women.
People, crab people, crab people.
That just it creeps me out thinking that these people might probably control everything. Well, I mean, what's scarier is all these corporations that literally do control everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then we're concerned about these old men who are just boinking each other.
and that's interesting. 'Cause,
Yeah, they're just
Vanilla.
all they're doing is pluking each other. Who cares? Like, like, I'm gonna swap my sperm in your butt, then you put your sperm in mine. It's gonna be a gay old
and
time.
then everybody out there with their cargo shorts and their big what are they doing in there? What are they?
I'm
what
wearing
leg-
cargo
Yeah,
shorts
what are you
right
saying
now.
about cargo shorts? You're
No,
wearing cargo shorts.
no, like they're
aren't you?
no.
Oh, you're just wearing regular old shorts.
Well,
Huh.
but these people out
Pleb.
there like trying like, oh,
You don't have
what
pockets on the
secrets are
side.
they talking about? Well,
Yeah,
well, Dick Cheney's getting his dick sucked by some other old white man.
You're just mad because you don't have all these pockets.
Kinda.
I mean, why even mention them if you weren't mad about it?
This is a conspiracy, isn't it?
No, I hate cargo shorts. They're dumb.
You know who else?
And I don't
Hey.
have 400 pairs in my
Alex
wish list.
Jones hates cargo shorts.
Allegedly.
But I tend to think that if any of the allegations against the Bohemian Grove and the Skull and Bones and Illuminati and whatever other group and label you want to put on them,
Freemasons.
Freemasons, yep. Freemasons, I
Templar.
really am tempted to, besides that I'm assuming that I wouldn't be able to be I know
I
wouldn't be
actually
able to
got
be a member.
invited to be a Freemason when I was a teenager,
I almost
and I
joined
really
too.
wish I had.
Just because I'm super curious, so I want to know, not because I actually really care about the Freemasonry.
You just want to
or
get on
whatever.
the inside.
I just
and
want to
get
know, just because I want to see. I know it's probably nothing of what I think.
It's just a dumb boys club.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but I just want to
Is
get in there and get a
essentially
cool
what it
ring.
is.
I want to
Yeah.
get in there and play a character who just like, no, this is a waste of time. We need to actually start doing something with our power and our God-given might.
Speaking of
Might is
Freemasons and Shriners and stuff, they're building some new either a hotel or an apartment right next to the Zagazig pyramid in Altoona.
Are they?
Yeah,
What's that
I
for? Huh?
yeah,
Huh?
huh?
Although,
And that
those
takes
guys
us
do
to
a lot of
local
good.
conspiracies, because I think we're all in agreement about the skull and crossbone, or the skull and bones, sorry, and the Bohemian Grove.
That's the name of the new game coming out from Ubisoft.
Oh,
This ocean battle game.
very cool.
I kind of kissled my way through the sentence.
And I'm very sad to report that there are no real local conspiracies, at least none that Google wants to let me find.
Yeah, none that you can just...
Shill for the Iowa state government.
So here are some
just
things.
because we give you a data farm.
Yeah. Here are some things that I do know. So Governor Branstad, who's been governor of Iowa or Des Moines for a long fucking time, his son killed an entire family in a car accident, and his son served no prison time whatsoever. And that shit swept so hard under the rug that it's a big lump in the middle of the rug, but you just think it's dust.
Yeah.
Instead, it's a car full of dead people.
When Branstad just wiggles his magic mustache, people don't go to prison.
Yeah, it's fucking bullshit.
Was he okay? What were the circumstances of the accident?
Oh, his son was
he
intoxicated. Yep,
He pulled some judicial strings.
So,
there.
I had friends that went to the same high school as Branstad's son, and Branstad's son was a huge druggie and alcoholic. He was like hardcore into drugs and booze.
Yeah.
And he was like beering it up all the time, smoking tons of ganj, and then he was really big into coke, but like, you're the governor's son, you can get anything, of course. So
surprising. You'd think if you're a drug dealer, like, I'm not selling to you. I know who your dad is.
Yeah. And probably didn't sell. He probably got it for free.
True.
Because you know what my dad can do to you?
Show me the evidence room.
Yeah.
I want to take it all.
I mean, allegedly, all of this happened, and allegedly he killed a van full of folks.
And didn't serve any justice.
And he served no time for it. The only other huge conspiracy right now would have to be about Johnny Gosh.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's tons of sources for you to be able to look into the whole Johnny Gosh thing. Me personally, I believe Johnny Gosh is dead. I hate to say it. Same thing with the local string of disappearances and abductions in the local metro area. Anybody else outside of Des Moines, Iowa. I know it sounds stupid, but that's what we call our city area, is the local metro. And
because once you get outside, it's nothing.
Yeah, it's just cornfields and soybeans. I believe that Molly Tibbins is dead too. Like every podcast I've listened to and anything else pretty much points me into the directions of Molly Tibbins is dead, and I would much rather be dead than trafficked. So
I hope you're wrong, but I have to
kind of agree.
Yeah.
So I do apologize. I wasn't able to really deliver on. I tried finding stuff. Instead, like
9/11's a super ritual to bring back the end of days.
Well, I mean, I was supposed to look into like local conspiracies.
Oh, I forgot you were going to do that. There's not
there really isn't much of anything beyond those two items, And
there was a house we thought that was haunted because it looked creepy in Altoona. It had like it looked like it had the.
That's actually what I ended up pulling up was haunted places in Des Moines, and even this
is interesting.
So 2 miles from the center of Des Moines, there's a spooky table at the Weaver House. Local legend has it that when the Weavers purchased the table in 1937, they bought a ghost along with it. The table is said to have made rapping noises and caused other disturbances until a minister wife quieted it by reading from a Bible.
Wow.
Terrace Hill, which is the Governor Mansion.
Which is beautiful, by the way.
Very beautiful
Never
place.
been there. I've been to the golf course.
Apparently, you can see the ghost of a little girl. She is transparent, and she likes to work the elevator even though it is only supposed to operate by the use of codes. So the elevator runs itself.
That's if I was like taking a tour and that thing started to move, I would shit my pants and run.
I mean, oh, Jesus Christ, these are depressing. The Old Red Horse Armory. This old cavalry armory is now the housing for city schools and buses. There have been reports of members of the National Guard when they occupied the building to have heard ghostly sounds from long ago, clopping of horses' hooves and jingling of harnesses.
Cool.
And the apparition of an older man in cavalry garb.
Where's this at?
So the Red Horse Armory is where they store all the buses down on MLK. Like MLK and
Downtown?
Prospect. No.
Oh.
Over by the Hy-Vee and the river.
Okay. That's cool. I'd never even heard of that.
Which the Harding Hills Hy-Vee is still closed.
Yeah.
Because
I
of all
wonder
the-
if they're
the
gonna
flooding.
I wonder if they're gonna reopen
You
it.
know, I think that the Hy-Vee is probably going like, oh, this is a godsend. Just close that bad boy down and build the Beaverdale store.
Build that
'Cause I think
beaver
they already
store that
bought
they
the-
were supposed to.
Yeah, but everybody always complained about not having to. But now they're probably just like, well, loss.
Yep.
Boop.
See ya.
It'll probably sit abandoned like most buildings
Well,
So
in the rougher parts of town.
I have a few more
well, I
here.
feel bad for that story or that store because I mean, people just walk out with crap there all the time.
Yeah, it's a
People keep on going. Oh, we need one in this place, but you don't treat the store well. I mean, I'm not you, but I mean, a lot of people treat it poorly. So they're like, well,
I hated going there. It smelled bad. It was operated badly. Now, when I was younger, the guy who used to run it ran it really well. It wasn't that dirty of a store. It was a good place to go shop. Though I will straight up say that they had their cigarettes in the worst area because I remember a time when I was younger and my friends, not me, but my friends went in there
Allegedly.
and they stole 10 cartons of cigarettes just right up their shirts, and we just walked on out.
What a haul.
And
I think statute of limitations is probably good.
yeah, I didn't do it. It wasn't me. I smoked the free cigarettes, but I didn't take them.
I think you're good.
Yep. Anyway, I have a few more hauntings here. Drake Municipal Observatory. Dr. Robert Morehouse was the first chairman of the Astronomy and Physics Department, and he discovered a comet in 1920s. He also haunts the observatory, according to local legend, perhaps because the remains of Dr. Morehouse and his wife are buried in the entry wall.
God. I've always
see,
wanted
that
to
reminds
go
me of that one.
to that observatory, but I've golfed at Waveland where it's located, but I've never. I know they have open nights to the public. I think that'd be awesome to go to, and also bring my my EVP detector.
So,
But that
Just
kind of
like
reminds
Zach
me of
Bagans.
that one No Sleep story where the guy has to go down, like he's a security guard, and it's I can't remember what season it's in. I think it's a later one, like 7, 8, 9, somewhere in there.
start talking about it, it'll probably ring.
And there's a boiler room and then a door, and he goes through the door, and he keeps on going down and down and down and down.
Oh, that's a good one.
And then I can't remember what all happens, but there's something.
It's so spooky.
Yeah, because I love those things where.
Is that the one about the Denver airport?
No.
That one is a really good one too.
That one's so good.
that is super good. Because the Denver airport does have tons of like super secret
We could have
underground
a
stuff.
whole episode on the Denver airport.
But yeah, that story is really good. Because I can't remember, but something gets out after him, but there's no door, and people get killed.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. Anyway,
Air Lanes Bowling Center in Des Moines, Iowa. According to the local legend, so allegedly, behind the bowling alley is an upstairs area that was used for illegal gambling in the 20s. Reports say
That's awesome.
if you can gain the access to the room down the hallway, you may hear people talking, dice rolling, and even hear a ghostly dismembered voice calling.
Hit me.
Okay, this one's gonna
roll them bones.
I fold. Oh,
roll them bones. This one's dumb. There's a smelly ghost of University Avenue.
But
It smells of kerosene. I'm skipping that one.
wait, where? Okay, where at on University?
Okay.
Because
Locals say a cloud-like presence occurs there, and it smells of kerosene.
It's next to an Ace Hardware.
Sometimes within the cloud is the form of a man or several tiny flickering lights. Reports tell of a man who died in 1881 as a result of this kerosene-soaked clothing catching fire. Oh, wow. Okay, well, that actually turned out kind of cool. I just saw the picture that they had. It's just like a creepy ghost, like, ha!
Because I was gonna say, I think University might be the stinkiest road in town.
Depends on which part you go for. West Des Moines, not too bad. Then when you start crawling towards like East 33rd,
yeah,
it starts going back. 'Cause that's right around the fair or fairgrounds, and that's when it starts kind of
you got
taking a
the
dive.
petroleum plant right behind the fair. I think it's petroleum or it's some fertilizer or something. And then
Then you have the fairgrounds themselves.
Yeah, west of the fair you got
Pleasant Hill.
Or
Yeah, that's sorry. That's
west
east.
you got the rendering plant, the slaughterhouse,
Yep.
Kemen.
Yep.
So
So then, back when Morohe Mall was built, it was a big deal. There are conspiracy theories about the people who built Morohe Mall, and it's because it's rumored that the mall and its tower are built over a monastery that was closed in the 50s. And according to the story, some nuns became pregnant and had miscarriages, and the babies were buried in unmarked graves. So
and then they built that mall over top of it?
yeah, so the reports say that there's both ghosts of nuns and infants. Now, I don't know how many of you guys, I don't know if either of you guys have been to Morohe Mall a lot. When I was a kid, I used to be
and
I was a mall rat. And so anyway, as I was stating, I don't know if you guys have been, I used to be a mall rat out at Morohe when I was younger. And back in the day, they had a lower level, and then they emptied out the lower level. And that place was fucking scary.
Is that where the bowling alley was?
Yeah.
Well, isn't the bowling alley still there, isn't it?
I think it is, but
Was there more than just that?
yeah, there used
Okay.
to be several stores down there and
'cause
everything else. I haven't been there in a long time, so I don't know if they've revamped it.
I think there's a weight room down there now. Because I think I remember my sister, she has a bodybuilder friend, and he was like, hey, come work out with me or something like that. He's like, it'll look like a dungeon, a rape dungeon, but it's just a weight room. Just it
Yeah,
looks horrible.
it's spooky down
least
there.
on the
There
outside.
used to be a McDonald's down there. There used to be that's where Sam Goody was.
Now,
and-
how would you get down there? Was it the entrance to the?
So you would go in through the main entrance, and then at one of the crossways there were stairs you could go down.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yep. And that I used to get creepy feeling, especially when they had Laser X there,
Oh, I forgot
because
about that.
I mean it was already dark in there, and they had
The laser tag?
yeah,
Okay.
and they had black lights and shit pumping through, but that whole maze area just scared the shit out of me. And I only did laser tag a few times just because for some reason that place just gave me bad vibes.
Ugh.
I hated it. And I remember walking through the parking lot of the mall. What was that? Oh, okay. Sorry, when I start talking about this shit, I start to get creeped out.
Me too. I'm just realizing there's a mirror there, and I don't like it being there because I'll see something in it. But you know what? It's fine.
But anyway,
I know the truth.
yeah. Anyway, just walking through the parking lot, give you the fucking heebie-jeebies. So,
Because of that monastery.
yeah.
I almost want to go on Google Earth and use the time slider and see what was there before.
Yep.
And then you go and there's a black spot because they redacted it because they don't want you to see the horrible atrocities the local government.
I think that of all the malls, I think that because I think Jordan Creek wouldn't be that creepy to go through, just because it seems it's a lot more
Southridge.
open. Is Southridge even open anymore?
Yeah.
I mean, there can't be anything left in there. or hardly anything.
Well, yeah, it's probably
Because
of all the malls to close.
Southridge reminds
I'm sure
me
it'll be
of
first.
the mall that
It's
was right next to my
definitely a
grandparents.
dead mall.
Like, because my grandparents, before they moved out here, were in Vestal, New York, and there's Wegmans that's right across from this actual mall. And if you go into the mall, it's like JCPenney is closing. It was like bare bones. And it was crazy because you walked in there and it'd be, 4 stores out of 5 where that were just, had the black tarp and the gates or the. It was really weird. But I don't know. I think that Merle Hay or Southridge would be the 2 malls that I would say would be really, if you had to be a night watch person.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I almost actually got a job when I was around 18 or so doing cleaning overnight there. And then I was just like, dude, this place creeps me out during the day. How the fuck am I?
See, it wouldn't be bad except
And I
if
used
you
to
did
have
go.
nightmares about that place too when I was younger.
Something about big, large open spaces at night when you're the only one there. You just feel so exposed and vulnerable. And
See, I'd rather have it be super open than be in a mall that's a large place, but it's kind of claustrophobic. And that's where I feel Merle Hay has the upper advantage because everything seems so like the ceilings aren't as high. You have those kind of underneath walkways where there's stuff that's above you.
Yeah, so many places for people to hide.
I just thinking about that, I feel like I'm.
I mean, the one nice thing
watched.
would be like at least the one nice thing would be is that all the stores have the gates kind of drawn, so you're basically just walking the halls. You're not having to go in and check the stores out, which is
Yep. So
Creepy stuff,
we have thoroughly creeped ourselves out. I have a few more places I was going to talk about here.
before we get to the lizard people.
Yeah, before
And the Hollow Moon.
before we get to the Big Bopper.
Good sandwich, by the way.
Yeah, the Des Moines International Airport. Apparently, there are 2 ghosts around the airport. Some offices are haunted by a flight attendant, usually in the fall season only, though. The
She's a seasonal ghost.
Seasonal ghost. It takes
So when
takes off during.
She flies south for the winter.
Yeah. The offices used to be used to be the site of a restaurant called the Cloud Room, and the flight attendants wander there as if looking for their flight, and they laugh and talk with patrons.
Ugh, nope.
Avon Railroad tracks. So this is over by my dad's house.
Okay.
Reports saying apparition appears of an old man holding a lantern and walking along the tracks, and then he just vanishes.
Oh my god, that's so cool.
Yeah.
See, the one place that the only time that I've ever, and this isn't in Des Moines, but like with Ghost Adventures with Zach Baggins and all those guys, the only time I've ever felt that something was actually real was when they went to Gettysburg, and that there was a silhouette of a person who looked. I mean, you could tell he was in the proper garb.
Yeah.
And then he literally just vanished. Now, I mean, of course, all this can be faked and all that kind of jazz. But that's the only time the whole entire show. And I've watched Gettysburg a million times. I've been to, because we used to live in upstate New York, so then Gettysburg wasn't that far away.
Yeah.
So I've been to all the kind of huge battle places. It is really amazing. And plus the movie also like filmed on location, so you can be like, oh, that's Little Round Top.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go go ahead.
I was gonna say the one Ghost Adventures I thought was the realest was like AJ and I were talking about off comms is Bob Mackey's.
Oh, I really want to go to Bob Mackey's.
God, that episode every time it came
Or
on,
the
I'm
return
like-
one.
Yeah, it's like when I worked nights, I'd be up watching TV at night, and Bob Mackey, I'd turn on all the lights that I could without waking my parents up, and close all the blinds and just sit there like, okay,
We're doing this.
Yep.
Inject it. Inject the shit. And then for kind of like the last little bit here, we have the Jordan House, which is apparently a museum over in West Des Moines. And it's allegedly haunted by the ghost of a young daughter of the original owner. She died when she was 3 years old after falling from the stair railing. She was sliding down, and then she broke her neck.
I think I've been there in elementary school.
And people claim they still see her and hear her playing throughout the house and around the railing.
Yeah, because they gave us a pamphlet, like any haunted place does, with a picture of an apparition, and our teachers took them all away because ghosts aren't real.
And then, I
terrified me.
personally have always been creeped out. There's this cemetery over on Merle Hay, and there's a giant table built out of marble with 4 places to sit. Each place to sit is aligned with northeast, true north, true east, true south, and true west, and it has Masonic symbols on it.
No, where is that?
That's on Merle Hay Road, Merle Hay Graveyard.
Oh, okay. So is it in the graveyard?
It's the actual graveyard. Yeah, that's down by Arby's.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's as you're coming up the hill and it's on your right hand side.
Yep.
Like going towards the mall.
We should go do a live on location episode at that one on Fleur, just for the interstate. That big, huge one that's gated off. It's we went in there and there are graves dating back to the 1800s in there.
Oh, are you talking about? Yeah, I know which one you're talking about now.
It's a little ways north of Ingersoll.
Yep, I thought you were gonna say the Masonic Cemetery in Waveland, because that's where my mom's buried. My entire family's in that graveyard.
AJ is part of the Illuminati.
I am.
Oh, darn it!
Tell us their secrets.
I can't.
You lizard person.
I command you with the power of George Washington.
Oh yeah, we run this shit. It's like the Beyonce song, except for it's Illuminati.
Which Beyonce song? All I have is all the single ladies in my head right now.
Women, we run this shit.
Oh.
It's a fantastic ditty.
That's the whole song too.
Oh.
But there are tons more here, and I got all of this information off of hauntedplaces.org/Des Moines, Iowa. So if you're interested, take a look, take a peek.
I'm totally gonna do that. It sounds fun.
I'm nervous now. I'm looking around and I feel like I'm being watched, and it's just talking about creepy shit always makes me feel creepy.
Well, AJ.
So let's stop with the creepy shit and let's get to the real truth.
If you think you're scared of places where we lay the dead to rest, there's no safety in space either.
What?
Because
In space, they can't hear you scream.
the moon, as we know it, is hollow.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you why.
You better give me some really good evidence.
All right, I'm just going to go. I did
Is it also made of cheese?
an outline. No, that's silly. Dude.
I wish it was, because I like cheese.
It's the materials it's made of might.
Surprise us?
Yes, they will.
Top 10 reasons why the moon is hollow.
Subscribe to Watch Mojo. All right. Moon was created as a result of a Mars-sized object that smashed into us many billions of years ago.
Okay, confirmed for fact.
It was called either the Big Whack theory. And now it could have been one. Okay, allegedly this happened. It could have been the Mars object hit Earth and ejected a chunk of it that became the moon, and then or it came back and hit us again, and that caused it.
So the first one
this
glance
is,
off us, or
so no, what it is it was just 2 rocks at one point, and it caused this trajectory to move out, and then as Earth gathered and formed,
coalesced.
yeah, then it swung back around and smacked into Earth, but then it smacked it at an angle,
Which is why we're on a wobble.
yeah, which screwed up our axial tilt, but is a good thing because the reason for the seasons is axial tilt. And
but all of those theories are false, as indicated by the large all caps false in my notes. Keeping up? Are you keeping up? Good.
well, I mean,
The moon shouldn't exist. It breaks physics. It's too big.
What do you mean?
The moon.
So now, if you write false on a piece of paper, does that mean
It's true.
so?
It's true that it's false.
Flawless logic.
Thank you. It should only be about 30 miles in diameter, when
Brady has a tiny
in
wiener, but if
in
you write
alleged reality, it's 2,160 miles
30
in
miles
diameter.
in diameter. Come on.
It's bigger than Pluto. You could call us a binary planet system. It's that big. It could be considered its own planet.
Yeah, it's huge.
And it shouldn't be that big.
Why?
Because science, come on. You want answers? I'm about to give them to you. It's bigger than Pluto.
about to lay that big old
Quote-
thick truth on
From
you.
NASA, who we both have on our shirts. You, seriously, me, ironically, because they're never a straight answer.
Oh, fuck you.
Quote from NASA: "It seems easier to explain the moon's non-existence than its existence." I mean, that's kind of a nail in the coffin right there, man. November 1969, moon was hit with a lunar module equivalent to 1 ton of TNT. The impact was.
Yeah.
It rang like a bell for 30 minutes. It reverberated. It
Armstrong did say that.
rang like a bell. They also said that as they were coming into landing, they could see aliens parked around a crater watching them. That's 100% fact.
Okay, here's the thing. Armstrong's gotten crazy because he straight up told a
Armstrong's
girl,
dead.
or not Armstrong, but
Buzz Aldrin.
Buzz Aldrin, straight crazy. He just told a girl on video that we didn't land on the moon.
He's going senile.
Yeah.
That or they got to him. They gave him some serum. I'm assuming that they give these people that are spouting the truth. They give them.
See, the thing that
Yeah, because he was talking about aliens and shit.
Yeah, they don't want you to know that. Men in Black.
Tulpas. I know what a tulpa is.
I do too. What were you gonna say, David?
I just was saying, it's just like with flat Earth or like Christianity and saying that
They're both false.
that some of the reason that we have old light coming in from millions and billions of light years away is that we're in like a gravity well or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, trust me, I was dropping the kids off at the pool the other day, and I decided I was researching redshift and shit, and then I happened upon a article from Answers in Genesis about how the stars are actually 6,000 years old.
And the truth usually, Occam's razor, is a lot simpler than trying to come up with these grandiose, NASA's, everybody is keeping us from the ice wall. Well,
Why?
or there just isn't an ice wall.
Yeah.
Oh, the gravity well is causing the light to come in slow, or whatever, that time slow or passes a lot slower for us here on Earth than it does outside our gravity well, or there just isn't a gravity well that the Earth is involved in that we would have been able to
now the
test
flat Earth
and
just
detect,
sits on a
especially with
ice
Voyager
ball.
being outside of our interstellar space,
Yeah.
and being like, hey, there's a giant gravity well that I'm now no longer involved in.
What's causing it?
Or
there a
the
black
moon
hole?
landing, that Stanley Kubrick did it, or that the Mythbusters were able to go into their studio and show all these different things and how Kubrick would have done it, and how actually light and shadows actually do cast themselves in space without any atmosphere, or it just actually happened,
Yeah.
and that they were able to replicate it based on the photo evidence that was given
That
to
we
us.
already have. Yeah.
Anyway, that's just my diatribe of Occam's razor usually is right.
Oh, we got to give Brady his platform.
Sorry,
He
Brady,
gave
go.
us...
Back into character.
Sorry.
You guys shut up. It rang like a bell for 30 minutes. That's half an hour.
How long is that?
30 minutes.
Okay.
And later on in the years, an even larger vehicle struck the moon, equivalent to 11 tons of
It
TNT.
was my dick.
They said it reacted like a gong. It
So now what are-
reverberated for
what
3 hours and 20 minutes.
So what were they saying hit the moon?
They
Like when they landed their vehicles on there?
They purposely crashed
Oh,
lunars
stuff on-
into it
okay.
to see what
What would happen?
Yep.
I bet the moon
And the
moon
results.
men were not very happy about that. The Moonanites.
Moonanites. Hey. Fuck you.
Keep it down. We're trying to watch 2001: Space Odyssey. Okay, and they also said when this 11 tons of TNT explosion hit it, it wobbled. Quote: like it had hydraulic dampening struts inside of it. That's a quote from a NASA dude. I forgot what his position was, but I mean, when you're dealing with NASA,
Janitor.
it's a crackpot. Okay. Struts inside of it. Can you believe it? Okay, here's where we were talking about being made of cheese. I wish, because the implications are very serious right now. The moon's surface and dust contains titanium, brass, and mica, which, as we all know, are processed metals. Because they were okay. The thing about those metals is, especially titanium, is they are very heat resistant, which you don't want your spaceship to be able to gather a ton of heat because it'll burn up probably. That's why the moon dust is made of titanium, because it keeps the heat out, so all the people inside of it can live safely.
Wouldn't the dust fly off if they were to drive their moon ship?
Advanced dust.
Oh,
Yeah, this. I'm sure to us it's dust,
space dust,
but to them
this isn't your normal
it's
space
not.
dust.
Look at the wing of a butterfly. It's just tiny little scales. That's dust, but that doesn't blow off when they fly. I just pulled that out of my butt. That was great. All right, and here are some other.
Hit me with some factoids.
Here's some other puzzling elements we
Pull the
found
butterfly to your
on
butt?
the moon. It's good for the skin. 1, uranium-236 and neptunium-237.
You know what else is good for your skin? Sorry, continue, Brady. Neptunium-28.
Oh, God.
Uranium fever.
Uranium-236 and neptunium-237.
That was close.
These elements, bear in mind, have never been found created naturally in nature. You want to know where they're created? All right, I'll tell you.
From the exhaust port on the moon?
Uranium-236 is found in spent nuclear fuel and repurposed uranium. That's where that isotope is created.
Could the Russians have shot a nuclear missile up there?
Oh, the Russians are currently inside of the moon. Neptunium-237 is a radioactive metallic element, and it is a byproduct of nuclear reactors and a production of... I'm trying to read my writing here. Bear with me. And a product of plutonium. Okay.
Hey, Brady,
Yes?
can you tell me what the sun does?
Oh, it's a giant oven that...
What kind of oven?
Nuclear?
It's a nuclear reactor, and it shoots off what?
Beta particles and electrons.
Radiation. And if there's no atmosphere, then
That's a convenient answer. Some moon rocks have 10 times
rolling.
more titanium than titanium found in rocks on Earth. 10 times.
You know why, don't you?
It's because it's a heat shield for this
so
satellite.
When the original moon hit the Earth, we can actually go on the Earth where it is postulated it was hit, because it shares the same qualities of the moon with the same type of rocks, minerals, and mineral compounds.
Where do they think the moon hit?
It's over in the UK.
Well, that could also be because this is a generational ship, the moon is. So it's not meant to be...
I mean, but
extremely...
tectonical shifts and everything else.
It's not meant to be extremely fast. It's a long traveling ship. So they could have scanned early Earth, found those titanium deposits, refined them, and then recoded, touched up the outside of the ship.
And so, since it's a slowly moving ship, it moves like a quarter of an inch every...
Well, that's...
away from us.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure it's
We're getting out of here, guys.
I'm sure the thrusters on the backside have been long dormant because they don't need to leave anymore. They have all the people to probe they want.
So why are they moving away from us?
Oh, gravity. It's just...
Tidal shift?
Yeah. Or they could... I don't know. The repairs aren't working anymore.
Oh, okay.
those Russians are not doing.
They got
their
all
job.
them fucking dampenings and everything else, but they can't stop the thing from moving away from us very teeny tiny bits every year.
Well, and the fact that we've gone up there and we now have satellites, they probably don't want to be seen, so they probably aren't engaging the thrusters.
yeah, but it's the Ruskies in there. Who cares?
It could be the Ruskies, but it's most likely
Nazis.
Oh, that's a good one too. It could be. They did land a ship on the moon in the 40s.
Did they? Are you saying that they did?
Allegedly. Oh, here we go. And titanium is very resistant to heat and wear, perfect to cover a moon base.
Oh,
And then I just that's when the video ended, and I just started Googling. So a lot of this is just like pointing your finger. This is gonna be said. So here we go. Moon is a giant colony ship.
prove it.
Blue Gem
He
Crater.
wrote it in red ink on his paper.
Oh,
the
what are you talking about? Blue Gem Colony Crater.
The Blue Gem Crater. That's where they call it because they see blue flashes of light, and that's where it's rumored the entrance to the inner cavity is. That's where the ships come and go.
Oh, big old Blue Jim Belushi.
Also, why is the moon's orbit perfectly circular?
Because it is.
Well, no,
Gravity.
it's because if you were an advanced life form, would you have an elliptical orbit around a planet, or would you have it perfect?
I don't know. What are the benefits of having an elliptical?
There aren't any.
Well,
Exactly.
then there you go.
Tidal force keeps it.
Or it's
Circular.
because they were very accurate in their parking job when they got here originally. It's also rumored that it could be a
Let's power down, guys.
criminal alien hideout when they're hopping across the galaxy.
Oh, so we're basically like
A
the,
truck stop.
We're like that thin
Great,
glass.
we're the
from,
Flying J
Yes.
of the universe.
We're that flying piece of glass from Superman 2.
Yeah. Or it could be a refuge for aliens who just need a place to stop and refuel. Do whatever their equivalent of sleep is.
Probably sleep.
Also, the fact that ancient people wrote about a time before the moon was in the sky. It was parked there tens of thousands of years ago, and it was never recorded. When they were recording the sky, and they never once mentioned it.
That'd be
Let's
interesting to look
see.
into.
Yeah.
The moon could be. Here we go. The moon could be a hologram projected to look like the moon does now, so that we don't know the true nature of the moon.
That's a lot of work.
And my last point, but certainly not the least, and probably this one might be the most. I don't know. Time travelers built the moon so life could start on Earth.
Holy shit, you won me over.
That's the one you're not sure about?
Yeah, that one might be.
Yeah,
a
this
little
one
iffy.
might be a little bit crazy.
I mean, also, then that would work in tandem. What if the moon is a repair ship to the mothership Earth, because Earth is hollow as
So
well?
time travelers from where?
Time?
From time.
I think it's because in the future, we learn the genesis of life on Earth, and it is us going back and starting it with the moon.
But there's never a time because we'd have to start.
Yeah, you'd always have to get to that point and go back, and then you'd go on, and then
Yeah, but you couldn't because you'd have to get to that point in order for us to begin, which means that it's a circular paradox because we don't really have a beginning because we'd have to get to
screwed
the end.
But that's so far in the future, it could never happen for us. That's how far in the future it is.
But I'm saying in order
Probably.
for us to begin, they would have to have made it to that point in the far distant future to come back to where we begin and seed
You know,
the planet for life.
I just think you're having a hard time grasping the things. So I get if you can't understand it.
I am
It's
purely a
okay.
tiny mortal.
It's okay. Well, that's the hollow moon theory. It's
And
bunch
Brady truly does subscribe to that.
no, it's a load of horse shit. Are you kidding me? Yeah, I just think it's fun.
It
That people would, and there are people who get livid, and like this is the biggest thing in their life.
the hill
is-
they want to die on.
is nobody believes their moon is hollow. It's like, okay, what's the big deal if it is? I don't know. It's fun.
I mean, I kind of would buy into being a binary because the moon is rather large
It's
and
massive.
at least like a dwarf planet. I mean, if Pluto is, but that's about all I'm willing to concede.
Well, I think they get that from, well, it is massive, and quotes from established physicists have said that it shouldn't be the way it is. But guess what it is? Sorry, you're stuck with it for the next millions of years it takes
Until
for it to go.
Fly off. Into,
Yeah.
Which when that happens, what do they suspect that will happen? Will it just another planet suck it up? Or will it just kind of fly off into interstellar space and be like one of those rogue planets that
Well-
just kind of flies through space all free willy-nilly?
Depending on where it goes,
What way it goes?
Jupiter might get it or the sun. But they also say
The sun
that
can't have it.
it's too big because look at all the other planets, how small their moons are. And they say Phobos, moon of Mars, was a first gen ship because it looks so shitty. They're like, fuck this, man. We need
to upgrade.
phase 2. It needs to be more round. But it's all stupid and dumb. It's fun though, and you should worry about actual real things that are happening. Like the deal we signed with the aliens in the 50s. The Zeta Reticulans. And the fact that there are 2 species of lizard people living on Earth right now amongst us. The ones that come from inside and the ones that come from the Draco system. You know, the important stuff. So keep looking up, people. You might just see something you can't believe. I'm just...
Are you for real?
Well, keep looking up. Like, it's cool. The other night I saw Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn all in the sky at the same exact time.
And guess what?
And it was beautiful.
There were
It's a lie.
3 alien ships.
I want so bad. And it sucks because, like, one night I saw this red blip right over the horizon. I'm like, what the fuck is that? It's not moving. Is it
Yeah.
hovering over something? And then I come out. This is when I got back into smoking for like a month. And I go out smoking an hour later and it's like, it moved a little bit. And then I do this for the next 4 hours and it's like, what is going on? Is it like scanning something, like a long-term scan? It could be. And then I thought, I'm going to turn my GPS on and get Sky Map out. It was Mars. I felt so dumb.
Wow.
Yeah.
Conspiracies, people.
You don't need a PhD to be a podcaster.
That's true.
Unless
And,
you're NDT.
Thank you for making it possible for us to not have to have the credentials to be able to deliver you a truth-filled podcast.
Well, the people with the credentials don't want you to know what we just told you.
Yeah,
They're
they
trying
don't
to
want
keep
you to
you
know.
down.
They don't want you to know. You
The
think
academic elite don't want us commoners to know the truth about the nature that we
you
live
think
in.
you know the truth, but you really don't know the truth, and the truth that you don't know is gonna fuck you up,
the
man.
truth that you think you know that you don't know is actually false.
False.
Wake up. I want you to get some pure water that doesn't have fluoride in it, so your third eye opens up, and then you'll understand everything.
Yeah, you're pineal.
That's why I use Brita filters.
Yeah,
We'd like to take a moment to talk. No,
delicious.
So I can stay woke.
exactly.
AF
Fam.
lit.
So what I want everyone out there, if you live in the United States, to call your congressman, congresswoman, and I want you to request access
Freedom of
to
Information
NASA.
Act
Yeah, we need to know.
on Hollow Moon.
Just yell at your elected officials about aliens.
Okay, I can get behind that. Don't ask them about Hollow Moon, but
No.
say, give us the truth.
Yeah.
See, I tend to think a lot of what other much smarter people than me believe probably is that even if there are other civilizations out there, that they more than likely have reached that pinnacle where they end up destroying themselves
Yeah.
before they ever reach interstellar
the
space travel.
Fermi paradox.
Yeah.
Getting too big. Everybody gets too
Either
big for
that
their britches.
or the other one is that we're so insignificant that they just don't give a shit.
It's like, yeah, walking past an anthill in your yard. You're not like, Holy shit, ants.
Yeah.
See, I tend to think that if it is true, it's going to be something more like Predator, where they're just using us as sport.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you look at like the living habits of humans, we're cockroaches. We go in, we infest a place, we clean it, we keep everything clean, but we live off of all the scraps around it. And then once it's been used up and it becomes a dry husk, like, old time Des Moines, then we just keep expanding outwards to the richer areas.
Yeah. It's like that orange life form thing that it's like an algae almost. It moves.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
I
It's
watched
super
that.
creepy.
Yeah, that's it. It's like a hive mind without a mind.
Yeah.
Like-
It's fucked up, man.
That makes me think like, you try to think like, what's an alien? Oh, it's a gray little man. It's like, no, what other kind of life?
Fungus.
Yeah.
Fungus is like one of the weirdest life forms.
It just makes you think because you're not gonna see a bipedal green man that says hello.
No.
It's gonna be some puddle. It's like that's alive.
Yeah.
See, I'm waiting for us to create like the what are they? The tiny robots.
Oh, nanobots.
Nanobots that
Yeah.
just turn everything into or what is it?
Oh,
gray matter,
the great gray goo disaster.
or just sucks up everything and then just turns this world into a giant ball of goo.
Yep. Because they
Just keep on
They realize they're
replicating
better
and
than us.
replicating and then trying to fix everything that's wrong with us. And then it becomes the only way to fix everything that's wrong with you is to replace all of you.
That's kind of like.
There's actually an
Horizon
episode of
Zero
Star
Dawn.
Trek about that.
Is there?
Yep.
or like I like the idea of robots becoming somewhat sentient but not fully sentient. There's a Ask Science Mike. It's like a Christian guy who tries to answer questions that Christians have about science and all that kind of jazz. And interesting. And he has this funny one where it's where they kind of are AI, but they basically robots make other robots to send. So they basically keep on replicating, but they don't actually have real sentience, and so they just kind of destroy the world because humans are getting in the way of making robots to send them out to
I was gonna say
do like
that's-
menial tasks.
That's exactly Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, that's the storyline for
Is it?
Horizon HCD. Yeah.
That's funny.
Where it just gets out of control, and
Well, but it's not even that
I
they
don't like
you
robots,
make a
man.
where the robots don't even make. They just make this thing where it's like I need to make these sheets of paper, and humans aren't letting me do that. So then they kill off all the humans so they can just keep on making paper and stuff like that. And then they shoot robots to other planets so they can make paper there, or just something dumb like that.
That'd be cool. We'd have like the first colonized system of paper makers. They just keep making themselves larger and larger.
We can make so much paper.
I have made paper.
But ding, ding, ding.
Tom Hanks stars in Mars.
Robot Castaway. I have made fire. Wilson. Wilson.
Oh my god! I think I'm getting too tired for any of this
I
because
can't-
everything's just starting to kind of wash over, and I'm just like, oh, let the crazy flow. Just let it happen.
I can't wait till in the future we have robots remake our favorite
Movies.
films.
What a future!
Rosebud.
It was a sled, you idiots. Sarcastic robots that go see the robot movies. What a piece of shit.
Don't open that door.
The Soylent Green was robot all along.
Yeah, there's a couple of bolts and nuts. You drank B3447. No. Oh man, let's
Wrap it up.
turn this broadcast off before you get a knock on a door from a strange man you don't know.
That happens all the time.
Oh no. They already got David.
They got him.
We need to leave.
Yep.
All right, I've been Brady. Thanks for listening.
All right. Well, my name has been and is for now, maybe, possibly, allegedly, David.
Hey, it could be a possibility that I'm AJ, but it also could be a possibility that I'm a Patreon supporter of this podcast. Like you.
Maybe.
But I'm AJ.
Bye.